Well, joining me now is a member of the Ukrainian parliament, Valentin Alevaychenko. He's in Kiev. Thank you so much for talking to us this morning. Let me just get your reaction to those attacks on Odessa.
Those attacks happened a few hours or several hours after signing an agreement where Russia signed the deal with the United Nations and with Turkey, agreeing for a truce while shipment of grain will move. So the whole responsibility is now on Russia and Putin himself, the president of Russia. Are they really willing to deblocate the Ukrainian seaports to let us, Ukraine, export more than 20 million tons of grain? And not only grain, but fertilizer and other food to African, to Indonesian markets and all around the world. So Ukraine, us, and as a Ukrainian parliament as well, we're ready and would like to be back to restore food security in the world by exporting millions and millions of food products to world markets.
So we have had word from Russia on these attacks. The Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman, Maria Zakharova, she has said on Telegram, Caliber missiles destroyed Odessa port's military infrastructure. And then the Russian MOD, the Ministry of Defense, has said an attack launched by high-precision, long-range sea-based missiles have resulted in the elimination of Ukrainian military ship and a depot of Harpoon anti-ship missiles delivered by the USA to the Kiev regime in the seaport of Odessa. The list of neutralized targets also includes the production facilities of an entity specialized in repairing and modernizing the fleet of the Ukrainian Navy. So they're basically saying that it was high precision and it only hit military targets.
This is Russian propaganda, how it works. It is totally a civilian seaport, Odessa, and not only Odessa seaport, but civilian apartment buildings being destroyed almost every night and every day by Russian missiles, including those Caliber based on the Russian Black Sea fleet still operating in Black Sea. That's why Ukraine, we put as much efforts as we can to let seaports, civilian seaports, to work again, to export grain and other products, to work normally, to be back for the food security for the world. But Russian attacks using those especially dangerous missiles against civilians, against Ukrainian cities, that's the main problem for us now while we are fighting Russian aggression. And think we knew,
Yeah, sorry, can I just ask you specifically these attacks on Odessa? From your understanding, is it correct what they were saying, that they were military targets?
No, it was totally not true. This is Russian propaganda. The Odessa seaport is it's 400% civilian. And for several months, for 5 months, it's already blocked because of the war, because of the Russian aggression.
Okay. So on Friday, when this deal was signed, we spoke to UN negotiators who were part of those talks in Turkey. And we asked them, do you trust the Russians? Do you trust that they will stick to this agreement? And they said, we have to trust the Russians. We have to trust that everyone will do what they have to do. We spoke to MPs from Ukraine who said, we do not trust the Russians. Given what we're seeing today, do you trust that they will stick to this agreement? It was a very narrow agreement, specific about getting that wheat, the grain, out of the Black Sea, out of Odessa and to the world. Do you think that they will stick to it? Do you think that they are sticking to it?
I don't trust Russians at all while they are fighting against us. Same time, I think this is for the United Nations and Turkey, whom we would like to deal with Russia, to stick them on the agreement, on the deal they already signed with the United Nations and with Turkey. So, it was signed 2 mirror deals. Ukraine, we have signed agreement with the United Nations and Turkey. And Russia did the same as a mirror. So the only way to stick Russia to keep the agreement is to really, the United Nations really press them. African countries, African Union, 54 countries, Indonesia, Egypt, other countries. I think we are together can do the success and actually to make Russia follow the deal they have signed with the United Nations and Turkey.
The UN, specifically the Secretary General Antonio Guterres, hailed it as a beacon of hope when those two agreements, as you say, the two mirror agreements were signed on Friday. What do you think of that? Do you think that perhaps it was naive, given what we've seen in the past and this weekend?
No, it's nothing to talk about the naive approach. I think that the United Nations and Maritime International Organization and other authorities, we all, if we'll combine efforts, believe me, Russia will follow the agreement and will let seaports of Ukraine export grain and fertilizer to the world markets. It will be separated, like one country is doing one thing, the other country is silent. No, will not gain a success anyway. I think that the united efforts, the United Nations, us together as a coalition in this particular maritime issue, we can get a success.
Okay. Mr. Nalyvaichenko, thanks a lot for talking to us.
Thank you.
The Board of Cricket Scotland has resigned with immediate effect ahead of a review due to be published tomorrow. Now, Sky News understands the independent investigation into Scottish cricket found the organisation to be